Since all my orders have come in from the recent Sephora VIB Rouge sale, I thought I would go ahead and haul those items today. Unfortunately, they released that new Pretty Vulgar line, which I just did a video on, like the day after the sale ended. I was like, really, Sephora? You could have, you know, included that in the sale, because I did some damage with those products. But anyway, I did some repurchases and got some things that I had been eyeing for a while, so let me roll into it. A little obsessive, I know, but I did purchase 2 more of the Farmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balms. I love this stuff. I double cleanse with it at nighttime and cleanse with it regularly in the morning time, and it just really gets my pores decongested, and I love this stuff. I'm just now finishing up my 2nd jar of it. I do feel like I go through it relatively quickly. I would say 3 weeks, that's pretty quick, right? 3 weeks to a month, I guess, per jar it seems like the rate I've been going at it, but I love it so much. I thought take advantage during the sale, and I picked up 2 more of them. I also purchased another jar of the Belif the True Cream Moisturizing Balm. This is different. There is an aqua version as well, so that's not to be mistaken with this guy right here. I heard about this from SF Steph or Stephanie Nicole here on YouTube, but she has great skincare videos. She has great videos in general. I'll link her down below, but this is what I use as the last step in my skincare routine, and I like to add either some oils that I have in like the little dropper, or either I have a bunch of pressed oil balms, like they're a solid oil form and they melt in your fingers. I like to mix this with that, and I just feel like it carries those products into my skin really nicely. This is an amazing moisturizer for dry skin for sure. I think this is my 3rd jar of it so far. I also purchased another tube of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in the shade Pink. This is like my favorite concealer. I have it on today by itself. I also use it to mix with other concealers to make them a little bit more pink and a little bit lighter. With ones maybe I need a little bit more coverage on, because this for me is about a medium coverage. Sometimes I wish for a little bit more full coverage, so I mix this often with other things. But today I have it on by itself, and it's the perfect concealer for my skin tone. I have a really pink skin. Somebody on my videos once said, you're really pink. And I'm like, I know. I just have a really pink skin tone, but I mean, you can see it in my hands. I mean, you know, the redness. I just have a really red pink undertone. So just a swatch of it. This is the one that I'm using currently, and then I purchased the backup. But it's just perfect for underneath my eyes, and I love the consistency of it. This particular formula I feel is creamier, not quite as drying as the actual concealer from the Naked Skin line, but yeah, that's my 3rd tube that I've purchased. I also purchased another one of the Givenchy Kohl Couture Waterproof Retractable Eyeliners, and I repurchased the shade number 5 Jade because I purchased 2 originally, and I burned through one of them, and I carry one in my purse, so I need one for grabbing right now, and I was missing it because I just hadn't gotten the one that I have in my purse, so I purchased another one of these guys. One of my favorite eyeliners ever. You guys will see me wearing this in videos a ton on my waterline. It goes on really nicely. It has nice staying power, and it doesn't transfer. And then the last repurchase I did was another Dior Addict Lip Glow, and I just purchased the regular one in 001 Pink. I've got like this much left of the original one that I purchased like this. I have the coral one, and I also have the orchid one, which I use those a ton. But I carry this in my pocket, and for during the day and reapplication and having a nice tint to the lips, this is really awesome. It gives really nice hydration to the lips, and I always like to have one on me, so I went ahead and purchased another one. I'll swatch it and then see if it turns a little bit more of a pinker shade. So it's a very moisturizing balm, and then I think there's 4 different versions. This is the original, but they'll pull a tint out of your lips, like either a coral, an orchid, or a pink. So, and then I purchased this Giorgio Armani Microfill Loose Powder in the shade Pink Light. This is what the box looks like, and here is the jar. There is a YSL powder that I had purchased. It's right here. It is called Soufflé d'Éclat number 01. It has a pink tint to it. Ton of product in here, and a little goes a long ways. Like, I've used this a lot of times, and you can see the jar is still full. This is what I have on my face today to set my BB cream. When I'm really spending hours outside, I'll start using my loose powder with SPF to set my BB cream, but for right now I've been using this guy, and the finish is just really pretty. It does a really nice job of setting my BB cream. So with that being said, that's the reason I went out on a limb and thought I would try this Giorgio Armani Microfill loose powder, and this is the pink one. Now this guy here, I went to set my whole face. This has got a micro pearl shift to pink. So like those, like duochrome, when you see like a powder that's light and it shifts a duochrome of pink, this does that on the face. So I really went and I set my BB cream that day with this powder, and I mean, I was shiny, and I was like, yeah, no, that ain't gonna work out. I mean, I like myself to look a little shiny, but this is just too shiny, and I thought that it was a you know, a setting powder essentially for, you know, big jar with powder in it. But let me try to swatch it. It has a shift. There's the balm, so you can see it has turned a little pink there, but I wonder, I hope you guys can see this. There is you can see the shine from it. It almost looks like a highlighter, and then it has like a duochrome shift of pink. It's not like highlighter shift pink, but it does have that shiny shift of pink in it, and for setting all over the face, it wasn't cute that day, man, because I used it all over my face. So I'm probably going to return this. The color and the consistency, like the light pink tone is really pretty, and the consistency of the powder is really nice. Like it's really finely milled and soft, but that shiny shift of pink all over the face wasn't very cute. So then I was finally able to get the 2 shades of the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows that came out with the spring line. They're purple and a pink. Actually, in the tube they look quite similar. I will go ahead and swatch them for you guys, but I had heard a few people saying that these weren't as good as the originals, and I can say that they do have a little less glitter, like a little less amount of glitter in these than the other ones. Like they're a little bit more, I guess, fluid, but I still think over like I put them over it's Makeup Geek's backlight or blacklight. Is it blacklight? But that shadow, and I topped it with one of these, and it was so pretty. That's one of my favorite eyeshadows from Makeup Geek. But let me swatch this guy. I still think they're pretty. So this one here is Sunset Cove, and this is the lighter one, and it shifts a pinky purple, which is showing up pretty true in the viewfinder there. And then the darker of the two is called Siren, and this one has a blue shift in it. But yeah, these are more, they have a little bit more fluidity to them than the originals that came out, but I still think they're really pretty, especially how I use them. I use them as shadow toppers with kind of a corresponding shiny shadow to it, and it just turns out really beautiful. So that one is Siren right there. I found another repurchase in the box. I did go ahead and pick up another bottle of the Dr.jart Premium BB Beauty Balm SPF 45. This is what I've been using as a base or foundation for so long. If you've been following me for any length of time, you already know that, but I like to pick these up during the sale. I also purchased one of the new Givenchy Prism blushes. They have, I think, like 6 shades, and I was going back and forth between which one to get. There was like 3 of them that I wanted. I was like, just get one, because they're not exactly cheap. And the shade that I got is number 2, Love. And of course, it's like a purpley, it's like a purpley pink. This side is supposed to be a highlighter. How I'm going to use it, I'm just going to mix them together. But the blushes, I haven't used this yet. The color is showing up pretty true in the viewfinder. There is a little brush over here, but alrighty. See what she looks like. Mixed. Oh, it's really smooth. Okay, let's just get some of this color. And then let's go with this one. Swatch them all. The texture of them is really smooth, like they're really finely milled. It has a slight pearl to it as well. It's not like a full matte, but I'm gonna buff this out on my hand here. There, yeah, it's like an angelic pink shade. I bit the bullet. I wasn't gonna do it. and I was like, sale time, let's do it. And I purchased the Tom Ford Soleil Contouring Compact. This is their summer version, 0.70 ounces of product. This is a big compact. It does come with your Tom Ford sleeve as well, but this one is called Soleil Afterglow number 2, and I really like the blush in here. The highlighter is pretty as well, but you know, with the highlighters that are coming out nowadays that are just in your face, super shiny, it's not quite as shiny as those. It's a more subtle highlighter, but it is light enough for my skin tone. And then the bronzer isn't quite it doesn't pull quite as orange as the one that came out last year, which I'll hold them up side by side too for you guys. But this is what she looks like. And the blush is really pretty. So you can see that the highlighter, it's not, you know, it's not one of those super shiny in your face highlighters, but what I was doing was mixing these two together as a blush, and I was really enjoying it that way. So here's last year's, it's called the Afternooner, and here is Soleil Afterglow over here. So you can see that this one's more coral, the highlighter has more of a gold undertone to it, and the bronzer is a bit lighter and pulls a little bit more orange. I'm going to go ahead and swatch this next to it too if you guys want to compare, in case you have this one and you were wondering how the two compare. This next item I really had to have patience with myself. I wanted to order it right off the bat, but I was like, wait for the sale, wait for the sale. And then I was seeing on various different websites that also carry this, that it was selling out, and I was like, please don't sell out before the sale. And so the first day of the sale I purchased it, and it sold out right away on the Sephora website too during the sale. And this is the Nars Narsissist Loaded Eyeshadow Palette. Each shadow is 0.04 ounces, and there are 12 shadows in here. I've worn this twice so far. It's really nice. It's got that mirrored gold front on it, and then here are your shades. You can get some real warm, smoky looks out of it. I think there's a great range of mattes for deepening up, for transition, and for also underneath the brow bone. And then you've got some really pretty shiny lid shades. I just think it's a really nice palette. So I'm going to swatch, you know what? Let me swatch all of them for you. They built and blended really well. The fallout was very minimal. That's like the same color as my skin. There's the first row. And the middle row. And then this last row. These two shades here are so pretty. Let me point out which shades are matte for you guys too. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matte eyeshadows in here. So I was super happy that I was able to get my hands on this guy during the sale. And then via Instagram, I was able to see that they released the Urban Decay and Jean-Michel Basquiat. I probably butchered that, but they released this on the app early. So I went ahead and I purchased 2 palettes, a lipstick, and then also the face palette. And I'm wearing that one. Oh, you know what? I purchased a Pat McGrath set. Let me go round up the pieces. I rounded up all the pieces from that Pat McGrath set. So back to Urban Decay. This is the blush palette. It's called the Gallery Blush Palette. And then on the back of each of these palettes, there's a little nook right here so that you can hang these on the wall and turn your makeup into wall art, which I think I might actually do. The theme of this are like the artwork on here is very reminiscent, like a graffiti type of an art, which I think it's cute. I know it's not going to be for everybody. However, I've seen a few comments where people are like, you know, no on the artwork, and some people really love it. There are 4 powders in here. Each one of them is 0.15 ounces per product, and that's a pretty decent amount. So here's the packaging. And then here's the inside. I believe that the only product in here that is from the permanent line is the X-rated blush. So these three right here have like a satin matte finish to them, and then you have your highlighter. This blends in with my skin. I would like it to be a little bit lighter for the top of my cheekbones, but I was able to make it work, and it was good. It was good for the rest of the points of my cheeks. I have X-rated in a full-size blush, and I really like the blush color on my skin. So that's X-rated, and there's the highlighter. It's got a gold undertone. Let me get a little bit more of this here. And then the bronze shade in NoHo. I like the tone of the bronzer. I like the tone of the bronzer in this palette here a lot better than the bronzers they actually came out with in the round, like the beach theme on the front. Those pulled so orange. And then there are two eyeshadow palettes. This one is called Gold Griot eyeshadow palette. Is this him? You guys will be able to tell me. Is that the artist right there? I think that is. So this is the Gold Griot eyeshadow palette. This is the one that's more neutral. It opens up this long way. And then you do have a double-ended brush in here, which is a synthetic blender on one end, and then a little smudgy type on the other. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 matte eyeshadows in here, and I did use this, and I felt like the mattes blended a little bit better than like the Naked Basics, but they're still similar to those, which I can have a little bit of trouble building those because they're so thin and dry feeling that when I build they tend to not want to stick to each other. I do feel like these built better than some of the older Naked Basics ones, but they still have the same type of a feel to them. So let me swatch them for you. Yeah, they're so soft and so finely milled and have a really thin texture. And on a drier lid type, sometimes it just, you know, doesn't work out so well. But let me get a little bit more. When I did use this shade in particular, I really had to try to build that underneath the brow to get it to show up. But there's the first three. And then these guys. And then the last two. So that one is the Gold Griot eyeshadow palette. So you can see that the little notch on the back. And you can hang it on the wall. And I actually think I might. I like art. I like fun stuff like this. And then the other palette is called the Tenant eyeshadow palette. This one opens up the long way. Here's the packaging. I think it's fun. And here are your shades. There's a mirror in there. And then you've got a double-ended brush again. Whoa. And this brush actually has a flat shader on one end and then a little flatter smudger on the other. So the two brushes are actually not the same. I'm wearing these two blue shades right here through my crease today. They're really, really pigmented. They're both matte eyeshadows, and for being that thinner matte eyeshadow formula, the pigmentation is really intense. And they did blend out and buff for me. I like how my eye look turned out today. So I have these two on today. Let me go ahead and swatch the rest. These two right here are matte, and then the other one that's matte is this shade Studio right here. So these guys right here are gonna have your shimmer in them. This is the first time I've swatched this palette. This one here has got little teeny tiny shimmers in it, but it's not like a full-on shimmer eyeshadow. It feels like a matte with really fine shimmers throughout it, if that makes any sense. So I'd almost categorize that one in the matte category. Ooh, that green though. I love green, like really bright lime green or chartreuse colors like that. I'm really excited to wear these two shades. And then these last two blue shades. Boom! They're really, really pigmented shades. And then the last item I purchased from the sale is the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star 006 in the version Ultra Suede Brown. And I was going back and forth because she released them on our website a couple weeks ago, and I was going to purchase it then, and I was like, just wait. Sephora's going to get it. Hopefully it'll be during the sale. And that's what happened. So I went ahead and got it. The packaging of this, I really think it's cool, and I really like it, and I really don't like it because it gets really messy. Like these sequins, if you don't be uber careful to get them out, you can get them everywhere, and they still stick to the products. But I still think it's cool. Like, it just looks cool. So in that package there are 7 products. I saw her eye tutorials because I follow her on Instagram, like the look that she did with the set, and it looks so beautiful. I haven't ventured that far into trying the products. I've used 4 of the products in the set thus far. I've yet to venture into the gloss and the black stick. But anyway, let me show you the products that come in that set. There's a brush that really resembles a Hakuhodo brush. Kind of like, it's shaped kind of like, what is it, a MAC 217, where it's domed. I quite like the brush. It's not quite as soft as a Hakuhodo because it appears to be, the bristles do appear to be dyed, which that will take away some of the softness to it. But the brush for the most part it's a nice brush. And then it comes with this black smudge liner, Kohl is what they call it, and it's kind of like a it reminds me of like a shade stick from MAC. It's really black, really creamy, and then you layer the powder products over the top, and then the gloss and the effects that you can create, like through whatever combination, just creates all kinds of different effects. I can't imagine with the gloss, however, that some of those are going to be very long wearing, but they look cool. And I just remembered I got a lipstick from that Urban Decay in Jean-Michel Basquiat collection, which I'll swatch too. Here is the gloss that comes in there. And this, just looking at this in the jar, this looks like, I don't know, it's got a very unicorn feel to it. It's really pretty. Yeah, you can see. I think you can see pretty good. It's like a holographic, sparkly eye gloss. I'm going to pick up some of that. I'll put this right here, and then let me grab some and put it right here. You can kind of see. Then it comes with the Dark Matter pigment. This is 0.14 ounces. Right here it is a black eyeshadow. I need to play around with these products more. And then it comes with the Ultra Suede Brown pigment, which is also 0.14 ounces. This is the first pressed pigment like that I got with the flat version. I've got her highlighter, and I got one of her eyeshadows in the purple, but I didn't get any of her pressed pigments. I know she came out with a set a couple months ago, but it's very saturated, very pretty bronzy shade. So that's Ultra Suede Brown. The last 2 products are my favorite from that set, and this is the Mercury pigment, again 0.14 ounces. The shade is just, it's just pretty. It's just pretty. I wore this on my lid the other day, but it's just pretty. I said that like 25 times. Wow, Tara, come on, get with it. I just don't feel like I'm with the program today, but super pretty. And then the last product is the Astro White pigment, and I've got this guy right here on my eyes today, and this is the one that I think is really going to give the effects over like the shade stick and the gloss. It has got a blue purplish like duochrome to it. It's not like super smooth. There's a little bit of a chunkiness to it, not like a whole ton, but the effects that it gives, like I just used it on the lid today and packed it on with a flat shader brush, and it's just pretty. It's just pretty all by itself. So let me swatch this guy. You can see, I think you can see in the viewfinder that it does have, you know, a little bit of chunkiness to it, but let me swatch it over here by itself. And then let me put some right here. See, oh yeah, there you can get some effect right there. Pat McGrath's line link packaging and stuff, like the actual packaging of the products, is relatively simple and stuff, but I still feel like there's an innovative feel to the collections that she comes out with, and I think they're fun. I almost forgot to swatch the lipstick from the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat collection, and this is the shade Abstract. And this is the nude, and it's a lot more brownie nude than I guess I thought it looked online. But the packaging on all of the lipsticks is different. I'm not a big fan of the mattes that they have from this collection, the comfort mattes, which I think one was. So I went with this one because it's the cream formula, and I do like the cream formula from Urban Decay. So this is the shade. It's pretty brown. It reminds me of one of the MAC and Mariah Carey lipsticks that came out. And that's everything I purchased during the spring Sephora VIB Rouge sale. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.